Muhammad Ali's hometown. His family came to watch me wrestle one night with him in the back. I told his wife, I gave her a big hug. Muhammad was respect. If he doesn't like it, I will not do it. She said, he told me to tell you, you people's champion, you have earned it. You take that title.
The Rock, 53 years, still looks 35. These three foods make you fat and old. What does it take to become the most recognized fitness icon in the world? At 53. How does a man go from being evicted at 14 to earning the title People's Champion, not by fans, but by Muhammad Ali's own family? And most importantly, what's hiding behind The Rock's legendary physique, a routine you can copy or a mindset you must live? In this video, we're going beyond the surface of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's shredded body and massive meals. We're diving deep into the real story behind his daily 4:30 a.m. workouts, the truth about his 5,000-calorie meal plan, and why most people fail when they try it, and the emotional weight of growing up with nothing, and how he turned pain into power. If you've ever struggled to stay consistent with your goals, if you've ever looked at people like The Rock and wondered, how does he do it? Then this video is for you. Because it's not just about dumbbells and chicken breasts. It's about discipline, trauma, timing, and what it takes to build a life that no one can take away from you. So let's get started with the moment that changed everything for Dwayne Johnson, and why a single sentence from Muhammad Ali's wife permitted him to step into greatness. The Rock and Muhammad Ali, the untold story behind the title People's Champion. Let's rewind to a quiet moment behind the curtain of a wrestling arena, long before Hollywood red carpets, billion-dollar blockbusters, or cheat day sushi feasts. A young Dwayne Johnson was backstage, preparing to perform, when he met someone whose presence could silence a room. Muhammad Ali. But this wasn't the Ali of the glory days and knockout reels. Ali was already battling illness, frail, but deeply respected. Dwayne didn't try to impress him. Instead, he approached with humility. He embraced Ali's wife and said something that spoke volumes about his values. I only call myself the people's champion out of respect. If Muhammad disapproves, I'll stop using it. Ali's wife paused, then smiled. He told me to tell you, she said, you are the people's champion. You've earned it. That wasn't just approval. It was a passing of the torch. It meant that greatness isn't something you take for granted. It's something you must live up to. That moment mattered. Because Dwayne didn't derive his identity from fame or fans. He gained it by respecting the past and earning his place. And that's a lesson all of us can carry. Accurate recognition isn't about claiming a title. It's about holding the weight behind it with humility and honor. So, how does a man who carries that kind of responsibility fuel himself? Not just mentally, but physically? What does it take to feed a body that matches the spirit? Let's step into the next layer of The Rock's story. The 5,000-calorie fuel plan that powers the machine. 5,470 calories a day. How this energy machine works. All right, let's talk about something wild. 5,470 calories. That's not a typo. That's the average amount of fuel Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson consumes every single day. For most of us, that's 2 full days' worth of eating. But for The Rock, it's just enough to keep the engine running. So how does it work? Simple. Every meal he eats is like a building block for energy, recovery, and muscle maintenance. We're talking 6 to 7 meals a day, spaced out with surgical precision. Breakfast might include eggs, bison, oatmeal, and papaya. Yes, even papaya. It's not just protein and carbs. It's about timing, digestion speed, and nutrient synergy. Post-workout meals typically consist of high-protein foods, such as chicken and fish, paired with rice and greens to replenish glycogen stores and support recovery. Dinner features sweet potatoes, salmon, or buffalo, and it all concludes with a slow-digesting casein shake to fuel overnight muscle repair. Now, here's the thing. Trying to copy that without training, like The Rock, is like filling a Honda Civic with jet fuel. Most of us don't need more than 5,000 calories. If you eat that much without moving like a beast, you'll gain weight fast, and not the good kind. The lesson here: nutrition should fit your output. Fuel like a machine only if you run like one. And on the flip side, what happens when that machine takes a break? You'd be surprised, because when The Rock relaxes, he doesn't just snack, he unleashes. Let's talk about the most epic cheat days on Earth. Massive cheat day, a reward or a long-term trap? Imagine this. You've eaten clean for 6 days straight. Lean protein, complex carbs, zero junk. You've crushed every workout, woken up at 4:30 a.m. and stayed dialed in. Then Sunday hits, and all hell breaks loose, in the best possible way. For Dwayne Johnson, cheat day isn't just a reward, it's a ritual. We're talking double dough pizzas, massive stacks of cookies, pancakes the size of hubcaps, and something he calls sugar blasts. Think coffee cake, apple fritter bread, and more. It's not just about indulgence, it's about celebration, a mental reset. A way to say, I earned this. But here's the part people miss. The Rock earns his cheat days through relentless discipline. His cheat meals aren't spontaneous binges. They're scheduled, calculated, and part of a long-term system. Most people see the burger and forget the burpees. That's the trap. The danger isn't the cheat meal. It's thinking you've earned it when you haven't done the work. For regular folks, going off plan too often becomes a setback instead of a strategy. So what's the lesson? Cheat days are powerful, but only when they're earned. Use them to reward consistency, not excuse inconsistency. And remember, food can be fuel or a comfort blanket. The Rock chooses fuel first. Speaking of choices, what guiding principles help him decide what to eat every single day without fail? Let's break down The Rock's 4 nutrition rules and why they might be the missing link in your routine. The Rock's 4 eating rules and the common mistakes regular people make. Let's break it down. The Rock doesn't eat by accident. Every bite has a purpose. His 4 core nutrition rules aren't complicated, but they require serious consistency. First, eat to fuel, not for pleasure. This mindset stems directly from his father, a former professional wrestler. Dwayne treats food like a tool, not a treat. That doesn't mean he never enjoys eating, but Monday through Saturday, his meals serve a purpose: to provide energy, promote recovery, and support growth. Second, consistency beats variety. While most people chase flavor and spontaneity, The Rock eats nearly the same meals every day. Why? Because results come from repetition. This eliminates decision fatigue and keeps his body in peak condition. Third, high protein is non-negotiable. From eggs to cod to protein shakes, his muscles are constantly being fed. And fourth, time your nutrition. He eats every few hours to keep his metabolism steady and energy high. No skipping meals, no random snacking. Now here's where most people slip up. They eat emotionally, they skip meals, then binge. They confuse hunger with boredom. And they believe that eating healthy once or twice a week is enough. It's not. One salad won't cancel 5 fast food meals. So what's the takeaway? Eating like The Rock isn't about complexity. It's about discipline. You don't need to copy his exact meals, but you do need to build a rhythm that fuels your goals. And speaking of rhythm, there's one habit that truly defines The Rock's daily grind. It starts before sunrise, and it's powered by more than muscle. Let's talk about the 4:30 a.m. mindset. No one works harder than me. The 4:30 a.m. mindset and why you should try it. At least once every morning, before the world even thinks about hitting snooze, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is already up. It's 4:30 a.m. The sky is still dark. The gym lights flicker on. No crowds, no noise. Just him and the grind. He's not up that early for social media. He's up because it's the only time the world can't interrupt him. This is more than a workout. It's meditation. It's discipline. It's a statement. No one will outwork me. Now that intensity might sound extreme, but here's the truth. Waking up early, even just once, can shift your entire perspective. It's not about punishment. It's about peace. It's about claiming a part of the day that belongs entirely to you. You don't need to deadlift 400 pounds at dawn. Just try starting your day with intention before distractions pile in. This habit isn't just about muscles, it's about mindset. Starting early gives you a head start on those who are still sleeping on their potential. It builds momentum before the day throws curveballs. It teaches you that you're in control. So here's your challenge. Wake up just 1 hour earlier tomorrow. Use it to train, read, stretch, write. Anything that feeds your growth, because success isn't built in the spotlight. It's forged in the dark, when no one's watching. But here's the kicker. Waking up early only works if what you're doing is working. So let's take a look at The Rock's exact training split and how he manages to keep building muscle at 53. The Rock's workout routine. Why his body is still at its peak at 53. At 53, most men are thinking about slowing down. Dwayne Johnson, he's doing his second leg day of the week. That's right, not one, but 2 full days dedicated to legs. And if you've ever trained legs correctly, you know that's no joke. His weekly workout schedule is laser-focused, brutally consistent, and built for longevity, not just aesthetics. Here's how it breaks down. Day 1, legs, squats, lunges, Romanian deadlifts. Day 2, back, pull-ups, rows, deadlifts. Day 3, shoulders, presses, lateral raises. Day 4, arms and abs, curls, triceps, and core work. Day 5, legs again. Yes, again. Day 6, chest, bench, dips, flies. Day 7, rest. But even then, it's not just Netflix and chill. It's recovery yoga, stretching, sometimes swimming. The brilliance of this routine isn't in the intensity alone. It's in the balance. Each muscle group gets trained hard, but with enough time to recover. And more importantly, it reflects the changes that come with age. Recovery becomes slower, joints require more care, and consistency becomes everything. Most people make the mistake of chasing results with chaotic routines, attending random classes and inconsistent gym days. The Rock's routine proves that structure wins. And if you're over 35 or 40, take note. Volume and consistency beat beast mode every time. Now, before you jump into trying his split, there's something you need to know. Because of copying The Rock unthinkingly, it could backfire fast. Let's talk about the hidden dangers of mimicking his lifestyle and what to do instead. The mistake of imitating The Rock. Don't follow his workouts until you know this. Here's the hard truth. Trying to live like The Rock without understanding why he does what he does is a fast track to burnout, injury, and disappointment. It's easy to get hyped by his 5,000-calorie meal plan, his 4:30 a.m. workouts, his 6-day training split. But if you don't have his lifestyle, his recovery tools, or his team of coaches and chefs, trying to copy him can do more harm than good. Let's break it down. First, most people dramatically underestimate the toll of high-volume training. The Rock has decades of experience behind the bar. His joints, tendons, and recovery are all conditioned for that kind of grind. If you go from 0 to rock mode, your body might rebel. Hard. We're talking inflammation, fatigue, even injury. Second, eating 5,470 calories a day without training like him. That's not bulking. That's just overeating. You'll gain weight fast, but not the kind that makes your biceps pop. And third, people forget the recovery equation. The rock sleeps, stretches, foam rolls, swims. It's a full-time job. Without the same level of recovery, you're running on a broken schedule. The lesson: don't imitate, adapt. Apply his principles, consistency, discipline, and timing, but adapt them to your own life. Maybe you start with 3 workouts a week. Perhaps your goal is to include protein with every meal rather than consuming 5,000 calories per day. Success isn't about copying heroes. It's about learning from them and building your path. And if you want to build something powerful, you'll need more than routines and protein shakes. You'll need fuel that comes from within, from your own story, your struggle. Let's talk about how The Rock turned his darkest moments into unstoppable motivation. The power of the past. Why The Rock always remembers the days. He was evicted before the fame, before the muscles, before the blockbuster hits and global endorsements. Dwayne Johnson was a kid sitting in silence, watching his mom cry as they were evicted from their tiny apartment. He was just 14. No money, no home, no plan, just fear. That memory, he says, is burned into his mind like a scar that never fades, and he chooses to remember it every day. Why? Because pain, if you let it, becomes fuel. While most people try to forget the hard times, The Rock leans into them. He uses them. Before a big movie shoot, a business deal, or a heavy workout, he reminds himself of what it felt like to have nothing. That mindset, keeping your back against the wall, is what keeps him sharp. He says it's the reason he never lets success make him soft. There's power in that. Real, raw power. Because your past doesn't have to define you, but it can drive you. Whether you've faced loss, failure, or rejection, you've got something in your story that can light a fire. You have to choose to face it, not bury it. So here's a thought. Next time you want to quit, on a workout, a goal, a dream, pause. Think back. Remember who you were when you had less. That person still lives in you, and they're hungry. For The Rock, success isn't built on comfort, it's built on contrast. The bigger the struggle, the deeper the roots. And that's what keeps him grounded, even as the world lifts him. So, if this story lit even the most minor fire in you, hold on to it. Don't just let it fade after the video ends. Drop a comment below and share your own back against the wall moment. You never know who might read it and feel less alone. And if this kind of content fuels you, the kind that's not just about bodies, but about becoming better, then hit that subscribe button. We've got more powerful stories, more real strategies, and more ways to help you unlock your potential. Because here, it's not about being perfect. It's about being real and showing up every damn day, just like The Rock.